You know, our world right now is in the middle of transition. And I know that I use that word a lot, transition. Back in the spring, I said we're in the spring of transition. Now we're in the summer of transition. We're constantly in this transition, this transitory mode. We're all echoes in transit. We're hearing things. We're listening to things. We're believing things. We have our emotional truths. We have incidents where we're like shaking our heads going, what is this all about? We have people who commit acts of assault and then tell us all about how they're peaceful. And, our world is just, I think a lot of the things that we're fascinated by all have to do with our own doom. Prophecies of doom. Every day, the media carries reports of predictions that the next year, decade, century, or millennium is going to bring untold disasters. From reading of current news headlines, I mean, this is difficult to argue against when you're reading those headlines. Really, you read the headlines and you're like, I can't argue against the idea that we are heading straight towards our demise. Wars, rumors of World War III, diseases, all ready to be unleashed, solar flares, shifting magnetic poles, astronomical alignments, a lot of the political events that we just, we can't even believe. We have a president that says something and then he denies it like 2 or 3 days later. Either he is losing his mind and he's getting older and he's becoming senile. And apart from the fact that it's dangerous, apart from the fact that, having things being said that could trigger animosity, you have to understand that, a guy like Joe Biden is losing his dignity when he stands in front of a country that he's supposed to lead and he mumbles his way through his speeches. Or he says some off-the-cuff remark that's not on the script. And you look around you as well, and it's not just political events, it's not just the astronomical alignments, it's these all too real biblical disasters, these natural disasters that they say are biblical, or they say rare, or they say these are rare or ungodly or biblical. I mean, even the current economy, the economic crisis has us concerned that there's got to be a breaking point if we haven't already reached it. There's an end. I said the other night to a caller, I said, how far to the edge are you? We are just teetering on the edge, I think, of a lot of things right now. That nearly 15% of people worldwide believe that the world is going to end during their lifetime, whether they think it will come to an end through the hands of God or a natural disaster or some political event, whatever the reason. 1 in 7 thinks the end of the world is coming. It is this concept of a new world rising from the ashes of the old, new world order, whatever. It seems to resonate with people. Some people are going to say that nothing has changed. That everybody thinks about the end of the world. It's been happening for years. I remember my father telling me that when he was a kid, they had their Antichrist in Germany with Hitler. They had the atomic bomb go off. We were hearing about, he said, in the future there'd be a baptism by fire. And we're seeing all this going on when we were kids. And we're thinking this is the end of the world. When I was a kid, John Lennon was shot. President Reagan was shot. The Pope was shot. And I was thinking this is how it's done. Decapitation exercise. They wipe out all of the leaders. They replace them with others. And bam, we have a new world order. I'm not going to have kids. I'm not going to have a marriage. I'm not going to have a life. But I planned ahead anyway. Because I outgrew the idea that I wasn't going to live, many years in the future. And again, I'm at that point. You reach a certain age where you're saying, okay, now I have to plan for my end. We have to plan for that. Buying life insurance, preparing things by putting food in your home and making sure your family's okay. This is where you say, okay, I got to grow up now. I can't continue having this 17-year-old brain in a 58-year-old body. I got to start thinking about how I can adapt to my old age or my advanced age. I don't want to say I'm too old yet, but sometimes, like I say, mentally I'm 17. When I stand up, I'm 60. It's how it is right now. I think that when we're told about this new order, when we're told about the new normal, we're told about the reset, we're told about building back better because there's got to be something that destroys everything or brings us down to our knees in order for us to build back better. That's the scary part. They throw it around like it's some ideal, but why build back better when it wasn't broken to begin with? It's because they're breaking it. They're edging us closer to the eschaton. They're doing it on purpose. It's like I say, some sort of synthetic experience. It's the, I don't know what you'd call it. It's a stage show. It's a stage sideshow. All the world's a stage, and this stage is the end game. This stage is the curtain call. That's what it feels like.